Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Upper Tier Podcast. It's Thursday. It's Thursday Tier Talk. We are back on your screens. We have a great show planned for you. Darren, how are we?
How am I, Niall? Do you really want
Mm,
to know how I am?
I do.
I'm fucking great, Niall. Pardon the French.
Awesome. Awesome.
Glory, glory, Man United. Yes.
Thought you were going to drop a bit of Bobby Roode there. Glorious or something like that.
Yes.
Mm. Well,
Oh, it
breathe
just
it in.
makes my heart sing. That's how I feel about it. And I can't lie. I can't hide my emotions, Niall. It just listen. The wins are great, but do not misunderstand my joy. The joy isn't the victories. The victories are a result of the process. And the process of what we've seen in the last two games is how we want to play football, how we want to be on the front foot, how we want to break, how we want to roll the dice a little bit at times. That's the Man United way. And it just makes my heart sing. Chef's kiss.
Brilliant. Right, well, we are going to take a look back at the European action. We're going to have a chat about last night and stuff like that. We're going to take a look at the potential permutations. The draw is in the morning, but the permutations are kind of there more or less. We're going to be talking about a phenomenal goal from Trubin. Now, then we're going to touch on that being part of the goalkeeper fraternity, if you like.
Absolutely
phenomenal as well. Obviously, we're going to preview the Premier League as well. Some big fixtures coming up this weekend as well. We will look at that as well. We will also keep you posted of what's going on in the Europa at the moment. Aston Villa 1-0 down to Salzburg at home. Celtic 3-1 up to Utrecht. Martin O'Neill getting a turn out of Celtic again after going back. We will obviously touch on the situation with PAC FC as well. It's 1-1 there with Leon, but PAC have had a player sent off. And Nottingham Forest are 2-0 up at the moment against Ferencváros at the moment as well.
Will I put the mockers on myself?
If you want, yeah.
I have a bet going at the minute.
Okay.
So it's a little 4-leg accumulator.
Okay.
It goes a little something like this. Celtic and about to score.
Okay.
3-1.
Yeah.
Stuttgart and about to score. 2-1. A flat Fenerbahce win. They're 1-0 up. And then in my fourth leg, I have Real Betis and both to score. And Betis are 2-0 up against Feyenoord. Now, the bet pays, it was a €10 bet, it pays €260. So it's paying 25 to 1. And the good gentlemen at Paddy Power right now are offering me 65 of your Irish euros to cash it out.
I'd be tempted.
Well, I still need a Feyenoord goal. So, I don't even have me ducks in a row yet, and they're offering me 65.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Listen, it's a tenner. I'm not cashing out a tenner for 260 quid. And I've a couple of. I only did two bets. The second bet I had is a card bet, and I have one up, and I'm waiting on two, and that pays about 660 quid as well. So.
Okay, so fingers crossed, hopefully.
Crossing fingers, toes, and everything else in between.
Absolutely. But folks, if you could subscribe to the channel, of course, and hit the bell notification and all that good stuff, you will notice, folks, as well, there's a QR code up in the corner. It's not the upper tier one. It's a QR code to bring you to Eventbrite for the fantastic match coming up May the 16th in Stradbrook Rugby Club. Kelly's Heroes versus the Premier League Legends. Being brought to you with Tony Brown and the Borough Legends, of course, are putting this on in memory of Stephen Kelly, of course. And we will play a video at the end as well. We have a couple of boys on who've sent us in a couple of videos. You would have seen them on the mashup as well, but we'll play it again anyway. And we've got more videos coming out this week as well. And hot off the press confirmed this evening, the Yakubu has been confirmed for the Premier League Legends as well. So he's
very good.
So BlackRock will have to
for all the Everton fans, for the toffees in the building. I know a couple of toffees. I might feed it their way. Just see if we can get a little nibble.
And the tickets are for nothing. the tickets are for nothing, I have to say. Especially for the meet and greet on the match and everything. And also shout out to the Sally Noggin Inn as well, always great supporters of these events for Tony and the boys as well. And of course we will bring you more information as we get it. Make sure you're checking out the Facebook page is out there and has the event on it, and also the Instagram page as well, Kelly's Heroes as well. Check that out as well, all in memory of Stephen Kelly. An absolute legend in the borough and a very, very close friend of Tony Brown and all as well. So all profits as well will go to the Blackrock Hospice. So it's for a great cause as well. So even if you can't go on the day and you'd like to support it, pick up a ticket, pick up a meet and greet, whatever you can do. And if you want to give it away to someone or do something, no problem.
2-0 Salzburg against Villa. They've just scored a second.
Seeing it there coming through as well.
Cat and pigeons, shall we say?
Before we start the show, very sad news the other day as well. 7-pack supporters lost their lives in a horrific crash. Just thought I'd bring it up at the start of the show as well. So our thoughts and prayers go out to those boys as well on the way to a match. Got absolutely obliterated. Very, very sad. Not much more we can really say about it, to be honest, but very sad. It's all at the moment. They have had a player sent off.
So you know our feelings on this. Nobody should go to watch a football match and not come home. And and obviously you think of those two Chelsea fans, obviously that were stabbed in Naples as well.
Absolutely as well. Our thoughts
our thoughts and prayers go out to their families and stuff like that, that they make a full recovery. Like in this day and age, there's no reason for anyone to go to football and not come home the way they went. It's just, other than having a few points and maybe coming in a bit tipsy, nothing else should be going.
And do you know what? Do you know what I do think about as well when I hear these things as well? We do love a good road trip.
We do.
And it often
do.
I often sometimes when I say these actions, I reflect on our own road trips at times, and stuff like that. And can you imagine what would happen if that was to happen? Very, very sad and stuff like that and all, Let's get into the comments. Ted in nice and early. Big up, Ted. Rio, Man United are back, baby. There we go. They are.
Good man, Ted.
Baz is in as well. Big up, Baz. Hope you're good.
There we are. Captain Caramel.
Big Phil is in the building as well. Love you, Phil. Hope you're good.
Felipe must be fairly close to me. Location wise, and the only reason I say that is we're buddies on Facebook now, and I saw he was going through Fairview earlier on when the floods were happening. So Phil must be pretty close. I'm only in Raheny now.
Well, he's a big Shells fan. He's a big Shells man.
Didn't know he was a big Shells fan.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Big Shells
man.
Andrew
obviously goes down and watches Shells quite a bit.
Not
only
a big Shells man,
stuff.
A big Shells man, home and away.
Good man. I used to travel home and away with Shells, with Tosh and all the boys on the bus, to all these far flung places, the showgrounds in Sligo, Ballybuffet up to Finn Harps and all these different places. It was honestly such an amazing thing to do as a kid. There used to be 2 buses went from Donamead and on a Friday evening down to the football. And I think it was about £3 return on the bus, and then you might get, it was £2 in or something. So it was a £5 with your match ticket in your bus. And then you get an extra £5 then to get whatever you needed at the game. But
bag of chips.
We were limited now in those days, I have to tell you. But it was just such an amazing time, watching great players, Desi Baker, Richie Baker, Nutty Fenlon, Mark Rutherford, Richard Goff, guys like that. Alan Goff, sorry. It was just unbelievable.
Lads, also that if you want to
Mark Rutherford,
if you want to go back through the channel, we've interviewed some of these guys as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've had Mark on and we've had Richie on and stuff like that.
Such a great it's such a great memory to have, and I used to go with a couple of my pals and stuff like that, and we just had the best crack ever. And Tosh used to put the bus on and stuff, and it was unbelievable, It holds a real special place in my heart, I have to say. Talca Park really does.
Very good. I seen Liverpool play Shells there back in '95, I think, or '96 pre-season.
I seen Spurs play Shells there with me dad. Told you about that.
You saying you thought Casemiro last season rocked up bad after pre-season. You want to see the way Ruddock rocked up for this game, and he got dogs abuse from the
I'd say when
lads.
we seen them play Spurs, it was about 94, and Spurs had just signed Klinsmann, and Talca Park was Rambo's because everyone was expecting we're gonna get to see Klinsmann, and we didn't at all. Young boys killing me bet, making a 2-2 against Stuttgart. Right, okay, plenty of time left anyway.
And just as it couldn't be any better time and cash out.
Yeah, Ted, I 100% agree. Niall is not of that opinion,
right.
but I am.
He's not right, and he's not. And you know why? Do you know he's not right? Because I know how much money you left on the table from cash outs that you didn't do, and I know it would pay for WrestleMania 43. So
probably would.
So it's certainly not,
they offered me.
Not.
They offered me a cash out one day, and I think the cash out was about 800 quid, and I was like, "Nah, fuck it. It only cost me a tenner. I'm keeping it on the table." And she was like, "It's 800 quid. Are you all right?" And I was like, "No, fuck it. We're rolling the dice."
That's a week. That's nearly a week. That's a week in Spain.
I was like, "We're rolling." Now, listen, the end goal was about 5k, and I was like, "Nah, fuck it. It's only 20%. Fuck it. I'm hanging around." God.
And then you ring me afterwards to tell me how bad you feel that you didn't
hit the crossbar. Yeah, bloody. Yeah, like, oh.
Yeah. How is that not a card?
He has him in a headlock.
On the ground. He's punching the head off. Yeah. He's just drop kicked him like Cantona. There you go. Hiya, Joanne. Hope you're good.
I bet I'm better. I bet I'm better than Joanne.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it, Ted.
Yeah, but he didn't want.
That's it, Ted. You're right. You've got it, Ted.
He didn't. I don't know. I'd feel pretty good if I
absolutely. Ted knows this. I'm the kind of guy who, if you said to me, they're offering me 100 cash out, what's the end goal? $1,000. Don't be a pussy. Stay in. I'm that guy. So when it's me, then I have to go, do you know what? Stick to your own voice. Stay in it. You know, listen, it's all it is. You're only...
For me, it's all
I do... My bets are always the same, as in, from a financial point of view. They're a €10 bet. I don't bet any more than €10 at all. And so, for a tenner, if I get 2 hours of enjoyment, do you know what I mean? I'm winning. Where else would you get 2 hours of enjoyment for a tenner? Would you get a cinema ticket? Just about on a Wednesday afternoon when they're doing a special, but you wouldn't have enough for the popcorn. You know?
I wouldn't have thought so. Well, unless you have the membership.
Then you're paying a lot more than a tenner.
30 or something, 17.
Saw that, Acers.
WWE might be doing pay-per-view in Wales. Yeah, we've
already we've already got the maps out.
Absolutely. The dessert is ordered.
We had an interest at less than 80% of being offered. Yeah, 100%, Ted. 100%, man.
Okay, I have to challenge this, right? Has anyone ever been offered 80% as a cash
now,
ever?
If it's real late in the game, they will offer you.
And maybe I'm wrong now, but I don't ever hear of anyone being offered. Have you ever been on the verge of $1,000 and they offered you 800?
Yes, but you're talking like all the teams are like 2 goals clear, and they're trying to shake you off in the hope that you take it and take some of it and go back on with a little dabble there, or do you know what I mean? I have like
if they're offering you 80%,
no, because at 80%, like the bet's up, it's not going down. Do you know what I mean? They're only offering you that when you've got the no flush. You cannot be beaten. So at that stage, I'm like, I'm hanging off me extra 20, lads. Thanks for trying, but we're all good tonight.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, if it's done, it's done. But is there a risk that it falls in?
No, I wouldn't have thought so. Like, you know, I wouldn't have thought so. It has to be. Because I'm not
splitting hair. I'm not splitting hairs between 800 and $1,000. I'm not upset at that.
Fair to grand, really, if I'm honest. But anyway.
Well, listen here. I'm glad United won. I said they would win.
You did. You pumped it up. You pumped them up. You did, Joanne. You were like, yeah, now United have this. I was like, jeez, I don't know, Joanne. Fair play to you.
Forest currently leading 3-0, and I just noticed that Leon has taken the lead against Pack as well. So again, not good. Right, talk to me about last night. What did you like? What did you not like? How did you feel about it? Talk to me about, first of all, the new format. We had a discussion on our WhatsApp group last night. I love this new format.
I got to be honest. I think the new format initially was an awful lot for people to get their head around. I think after the first year, when everybody understands it a little bit more, I don't know many people who wouldn't concede that this format is better than the old one. If you look at it previously where, a team would win their first 4 games, be true, right? And then have 2 dead rubbers, which then affects the ability of teams above and below them to go through because they're playing weakened sides, so to speak. This here has lots of benefits for it to play the best team you can in all the games, because the higher up you finish, the more money you get, and the higher up the finish, the easier the game you're going to get further down the line. That's just that's just rocket. Like
we got PSG.
Yeah, but that was because of where PSG finished. So
absolutely.
like that, it just makes such sense. And I have to say, last night was a super spectacle. Like it really was. Have 18 games on, all kicking off at the same time. Multi-screens going on here and there. Placings being changed by the minute. A goal's being affected by a game's being affected by a goal in another game because, Paphos had scored. Now that means we need another goal and someone else needs a yellow card. Unbelievable. I have to say, I think initially people were very, very skeptical. However, after going through our second group phase, I think this is sterling. I really do. And I am.
I think people's original concern was that kind of whiff of the Super League off it and stuff like that. No, but I have to say, and it's not a million miles away. It's just
it is, because don't forget, if we have a Super League, Carrot Almaty ain't getting into it, right? You got both Milan teams, you got Juve, you've got Roma, you've got the big teams. So this does also give the little boys an opportunity. If they can pick off a few scalps along the way, they can get that. Look at Paphos. They were so good last night to win 4-1 and just miss out on goal difference ultimately. And then look at Bodo Glimt, done so well. First time in the Champions League proper, right? And they get through to the qualifying rounds because in their last 2 games, they beat Manchester City and Atletico Madrid. Unbelievable. And don't forget, Kjetil Knutsen, the manager, is a guy I'm talking about for the last 3 years. And I don't believe nobody has given him a gig yet. I actually cannot believe it. And you can see what he's doing with Bodo Glimt on a shoestring budget in Norway. And in like the Antarctic, if he was a little bit warmer, a little bit of heat in his bones, a few quid in the bank to nibble on a few players, this guy could do a serious job. Really impressed with them.
This is kind of the story of Conte, isn't it? He doesn't have a great record in European knockout competition. When you go back and you look at his record, very good in terms of getting a league. This is
also very Antonio Conte-like, pardon my French, because don't forget, this is I come in, I get a tune like you've never seen, and then the tune starts to sound like it's a little bit out of tune, and he's grating on guys, and there's two. This guy is ideal for short-term solution. But for a long-term project, Antonio Conte does not work because he's going to piss way too many people off. I think if you can get 24 months out of him, you've done really, really well.
Yeah, he's not an arm rapper. Sure, he's not an arm rapper at all.
I imagine he kicks so many lads up the arse. He has to wear steel toe caps on a bleeding Wednesday night.
This lad is towing your lunchbox clean off the catering table. Yeah, absolutely. But certainly interesting. But strange one. What did we make? Chelsea, obviously, great result last night. 3-2, got there in the end and stuff like that. It seemed a very good match.
I watched it. It was a really good game. And I actually, I told you this morning, I backed Chelsea. I had Chelsea in both to score, which was a really good price, by the way. Because Napoli haven't lost a domestic game or cup competition in 3 years there in Naples. So that was a huge result for Chelsea to go there and pick up that kind of a result. Really, really good. I thought they were value for money, and I thought the game changed. They were 2-1 down at halftime. I thought the game changed when our boy Cole Palmer came on.
He is that he's that game changer, isn't he?
The winning goal I'm not sure if you've seen it, but there's a Napoli attack down the left-hand side, and Chelsea just break it up, and then they just pounce. And the ball goes in to the feet of João Pedro, and he has his back to goal, and he sets the ball for Parma. And as he sets it, he turns and goes. There's 2 Napoli defenders, and Parma puts the ball through the 2 Napoli defenders out in front of Pedro and just says, get onto that kid. And he gets right onto it, settles it up on his right hand, on his right foot, and then boom, cross the keeper into the far corner. It's a great goal. And it's a lovely piece of vision from Parma. And I have to say, João Pedro with 2 really good strikes in the second half. The first one was a screamer from about 20 yards. And the second one's a real clinical sort of, I'm a striker with a bit of confidence, and I'm going to hit this, and I'm going to put it where I want to put it. And it was good. It was really good.
Yeah, sounds like it could be a nice little relationship.
Absolutely.
That could form, you know what I mean? Smells of Lampard and Drogba a little bit or something.
Yeah, there you go. There's Aston Villa coming back into it 2-1.
Very good.
There's plenty going on here.
Yeah, absolutely. What did we make then? Tottenham 2-0 winners away at Frankfurt. Thomas Frank flying
unbelievable. Like, absolutely unbelievable. To think that Tottenham finished 4th in the table with 17 points is just phenomenal. Like, and just to go through it with you, Spurs. So, okay, they're away last night, and they beat Frankfurt 2-0. Last week, another German team, Borussia Dortmund 2-0. Yeah. Prior to Christmas, you see them go through Slavia Prague 3-0. Yeah. PSG, they lost 5-3, but put up a decent fight at home against Copenhagen 4-0. That's 4 clean sheets in Champions League football. That will put you through games. Like, it just will. 0-0 against Monaco, 5 clean sheets. And then the last game was 2-2 with Bodo Glimt. They 5 clean sheets in their last 8, in their 8 Champions League games. That's what got them there. And that defensive solidity tells me a couple of things. It obviously tells me that they can defend, but it also tells me that it's the pace of the Premier League that's catching them out. Because when it's not as helter-skelter, when they have a bit more time on the ball, when they can play out unopposed from the back, when they can set that line a little bit deeper, they're very good. So Tom,
I'm playing obviously more open teams as well. We've spoke about that before as well. That's why Liverpool at times look so good in the Champions League, but then struggle against the likes of a Burnley or a Brentford or a Forest.
Well, listen, Burnley aren't coming out to play against anybody. Burnley are setting their stall out. I've mentioned Scott Parker a number of times. I think he's doing a phenomenal job. I really do. I think the one thing, if I'm in charge of a club in England, in that Premier League or in that Championship, I'm looking at Scott Parker and how things are going at Burnley. And I'll tell you why. Here's 2 reasons why. First of all, the lads at Burnley seem to be well able to pick a manager, right? They've gone from Vincent Kompany, who's gone to Munich and is doing a stellar job there, to Scott Parker, who got them promoted, has them in the league. They're getting nipped off week after week. It's a goal. It's never any more than a goal. So he has them playing the right way. They're on a shoestring. They don't spend an awful lot of money. Parker will go somewhere next. Parker might be, and I'm going to use it because it's underneath my picture here. I reckon West Ham and Scott Parker are a match made in heaven. And I think if you could get, if West Ham can stay up and they're not happy with the kind of football that Nuno is playing, you go and you get Scott Parker. You let him do a little bit with that squad, and watch West Ham thrive again. He's doing so well. And
although we are starting to see a huge turnaround with Nuno.
Absolutely, and again with Nuno, it's coming from that defensive solidity, which is this is a Nuno trait. We keep clean sheets, we keep it tight at the back, and we nick teams off going forward. And he's made a career of it at Wolves. Obviously, he didn't get enough time at Tottenham, and he's done it with Forest as well. And now you see him able to do it at West Ham. Nuno's very underrated as well. I just think there seems to be a slight uneasiness there with Nuno and West Ham. You know?
Do you know what? He never... He looks a bit kind of abrupt or a bit brash, or he doesn't look like he enjoys his job.
Yeah, and I don't imagine he enamors himself to any chairman or CEOs or anything like that. I'd say he is difficult, but at the same time, picking up results in the league are so difficult. So if you can be a guy that's done it at Wolves, done it at Forest, done it at West Ham, like that's a serious CV, you know, to be able to say, listen, you're in trouble. Give me the job. I can sort it for you. You know, it's very impressive, I have to say. Really is.
Yeah, absolutely. And they'll stick out last night. Obviously, Marseille getting bumped. We can talk about, obviously.
Well, I suppose that if you go back to it for 1 second, I suppose the thing that really draws my eye is the game that cost me money, and that was Atletico Madrid and Bodo Glimt. That was what let me down last night.
Imagine what price they would have been to qualify.
Bodo Glimt,
must have been big.
They'd have been okay,
especially looking at their last two games. Like, you looked at those last two games and you were thinking, you're probably not going to get out of either of them.
Like, I reckon Almaty, Slavia Prague, Copenhagen, Paphos, Karabakh, all five of them are probably greater prices than... Now, again, loads of them didn't make it, but just looking from where they are, I reckon a lot of them would have been worse prices. Because don't forget, Bodo Glimt had a decent conference last year as well. Sorry, Europa League. And they got to the semis against Spurs, was it, or the quarters? So they have had a little bit of success in Europe in the last couple of years, and they've kind of built that profile up a little bit. I did see one of the lads, are Celtic in talks with one of them? There's a boy at Bodo Glimt, and as far as I know, Celtic are looking to throw about 6 million at this kid. So again, they're starting to get a chew now of players and turn stuff over, you know?
Yeah, I just think when you look at it there, 9 points and stuff like that, and they're after picking up, 6 in the last two against, Man City and Atletico. Like, you know, you would have thought they were dead in the water. I'd say the price actually going back 2 matches would have even been massive, I'd imagine. Because I wouldn't have thought they would have been getting anything.
Well, after 6 games, I'd say they're probably the worst price team to get through at all. After 6.
Yeah.
And then after 8, you're through and you're like, what am I watching here? You know, the 2 wins are just phenomenal. They really are. You
absolutely. know. And this is what we love to see. This is what we talk about, this format, and how it gives teams a chance to come up and earn really, really good money and all that kind of stuff, and lay that foundation to become something bigger in the future.
Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. Right, so let's get into the permutations for the Premier League.
Just a shout out on tonight. I'm looking at one of the games here because I'm obviously keeping an eye on it. But little shout out for our boy Anthony, goal and an assist tonight in that Europa again. Got the first goal after 17 minutes and got the assist for the second one after 32. He likes that competition.
Just to let you know, Celtic as well as 4-2 now against Utrecht. Utrecht have brought it back to 3-2.
That's right.
Celtic replied. And Leon and Pack is now 2-2. Pack had a player sent off. Forest still 3-0, and Aston Villa still 2-1 down to Salzburg at home. So lots of stuff happening. Right, talk to me about these permutations. It'll be a lot clearer tomorrow, obviously, when they do the draw and stuff. But if we let's start off with Arsenal, because obviously Newcastle is kind of a little bit...
Newcastle either have Karabakh or Monaco, don't they? For the play, I know, but I mean, you can still, like, I think from a Newcastle point of view, if someone offers you a 2-legged affair against Karabakh or Monaco to go through, you take it now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now listen, I think
and preferably Karabakh. Based on last night.
Absolutely. I actually thought it was very humorous when I got to the end of the game, and obviously I'd been watching the goals come through on live score or whatever, and then I looked at it and I was like, Karabakh have qualified. What's going on here? You know?
Yeah.
So it's crazy. But listen, hopefully for Newcastle they get Karabakh, because don't forget, we do want Newcastle in this to help with the coefficient.
Absolutely. 100%.
That will stretch things to 5 spaces in the league. And the likelihood is, I would say, Newcastle probably won't be in with a spin on that in the Premier League at the minute. So it would be down to, if we say top 3 are going to be Arsenal, City and Villa, that leaves an opportunity for maybe ourselves, Chelsea and yourselves to fight for the last 2 spots, which, to be honest, suits us down to the ground, right?
Absolutely.
3 from 2.
Right, so let's start then with also waiting for Newcastle, if they do get through that, obviously, is Barcelona or Chelsea. So so we'll see what else falls out of that. I don't think, would they be upset against a Chelsea tie? They'd probably be okay with that, would they?
I think they'd take their chances with Chelsea, because I think obviously they played Barca earlier in the competition and Barcelona trounced them. So I think they'd take the Chelsea tie. And understand that, we could do Chelsea at home, they could do us at home, but it could be pretty close to the knife edge either way, whether we get through or not, And I think Newcastle would take that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we want all 6 clubs to stay in it as long as they can, obviously. But yeah, obviously with the coefficient, and five hitting the top 8 spots is massive for the coefficient, obviously, and Newcastle just outside. Arsenal, looking at Atalanta, Dortmund, Leverkusen, and Olympiacos. Nice.
There's nothing there that scares Arsenal for me.
Nothing should worry them there, sure.
No,
they shouldn't.
No.
Ourselves, we have potentially another tie with Atletico Madrid. We played them earlier in the tournament. Galatasaray, we came unstuck against. Club Bruges or Brugge, depending on how you want to pronounce it, and Juventus. So hopefully you'll be looking at
I actually think the worst tie there is probably Club Bruges.
The worst tie to get?
Yeah, I think so. Bruges have a really, really good home record this season. They're a really tidy side. They set up quite well. They have a couple of really tidy players there as well. Like, I think at times, if you go in against an Atletico, you know what you're getting. You've been there before. You've swapped the T-shirts with Atletico. You're not in for a shock. You're not. I think Bruges could shock you, and you're like, wow, these are a lot better than we thought they were going to be.
Juve might be a nice toy as well, actually.
Juve are nothing like the force that they were. Yeah, they're just nothing like it.
Now, Douglas Luiz back at Aston Villa.
Well, he was at Nottingham Forest and wasn't getting a game.
Yeah.
And Forest ended the loan spell. There's Villa just made it 2-2 this second. And Forest ended the loan spell, and then Villa took up the option. Now, from what I believe, this is a real good piece of business from Villa. 18 months ago, Villa sold Douglas Luiz to Juventus for 50 million. 18 months later, they've got him back on loan for the rest of the season. And if they want to make the deal permanent in the summer, they will pay 25 million.
That's shrewd business, isn't it?
That's a 25 million pound loan fee they've gotten for 18 months nearly. That's outrageous.
An extremely proven player as well in the Premier League. So yeah, interesting. Chelsea players were saying that might have to win the Champions League to qualify for next season. I did
like the Aston Villa business in January so far. All 3 of the guys they brought in have played in the league and have actually all played for Villa. Leon Bailey, Douglas Luiz, and Tammy Abraham all know the league, can all come in. You'll get a tune out of Bailey, you'll get goals out of Abraham, and you'll get something in the middle of the park from Luiz, because don't forget there's 3 big injuries in there at the minute. Boubacar Kamara, John McGinn, and the boy Tielemans, I think they're all injured at the minute. So there's not a lot going on in that Villa midfield. So he will happily boast of them numbers with Douglas Luiz.
And we did say with Malin exiting the building as well that they must have a plan. And they did.
Yeah. The plan was to get another 9 in behind Watkins and take Bailey back from the loan. And it's clever. It's clever. And Leon Bailey, if you can get the right tune out of him, can be very, very good. We've seen him.
Yeah, we've seen him. Yeah, absolutely.
We have seen him.
Emery's very shrewd operator, isn't he? And there's no noise around it. There's no noise around it. He just gets on with it.
The 2 goals tonight for Villa. Morgan Rogers got the first. Don't know why anyone would be shocked by that. But the second one, Tyrone Mings, not getting any game time at Aston Villa at the minute, playing tonight in the Europa, gets his goal. Our boy Matty Cash with the assist. Super.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go. Feyenoord have just scored. Okie dokie. So now I may...
So what are you waiting on more from the other one?
I need Stuttgart.
Yeah. Okay. We shall keep an eye. Right, Chelsea potentially looking at Monaco, PSG so far, and then one of Newcastle and Karabakh, and then there's obviously, I presume the other one, I'm not sure, it has to be decided yet, but that's what it's looking like at the moment. Anything there, obviously PSG would be the tough one, I would imagine. Newcastle would certainly be interesting. But again, if we keep the Premier League teams away from each other, we could have a very interesting...
Absolutely. I think that'd be ideal, but I don't think UEFA or the Champions League will allow that to happen. I think we'll get at least one matchup that'll dump an English team out at the first stage.
Yeah. Well, we'll know tomorrow morning anyway when it all fleshes out. Man City, tough quartet there for them. Benfica, Jose Mourinho. We're going to talk about the keeper shortly. Inter Milan, Bodo Glimt, and Real Madrid.
Yeah, listen, it's not easy, but it definitely depends on what kind of City turns up. City have been a very, very Jekyll and Hyde team this season. I don't see Inter causing them a huge difficulty or Bodo Glimt over 2 legs. I think...
Well, obviously with the boy Gahey now going in, and
yes,
Semenyo
it will make a huge
for this next phase.
Difference. Yeah, I really only see, other than Madrid, I think they beat the other 3 teams over 2 legs. But Madrid will not like the fact that they can possibly go to City in the first knockout round and be dumped out in their arsehole, and that could happen. And we've seen that happen in the last few years. I
should just look at the Benfica game.
Absolutely.
Honestly. Crazy. And then we finish up with Spurs then. Atletico, Galatasaray, Club Brugge, and Juventus. Similar to ourselves, really.
Very, very similar to you guys. Identical, actually. Listen, I think...
Question for you. Will Thomas Frank be around for this?
Yes, I think so.
Because we're both fans of him.
We are. I think there's a couple of things that'll save Thomas Frank. And one of the things that'll save Thomas Frank is his Champions League form. I think they will look at it.
Is this going to feel like another Ange year?
Possibly.
That the priority will shift?
Possibly. I don't think that's...
Because we don't see Spurs having enough to go on and win it, do we?
No, not for me. Not for me.
So it's not like Ange.
No, but I mean, like if Spurs could get through the next round and make it to a quarters, all of a sudden, it's, let's say they got, I don't know, Galatasaray over 2 legs and knocked them out, right? And then all of a sudden they're in the last 8 of the Champions League. That's massive on Thomas Frank's CV.
And you're picking up more of the bag.
Plus, you might get some players back into that squad that give you an opportunity to get a better team on the pitch. And as you've seen, they are solid in the Champions League. 5 clean sheets is unbelievable.
Yeah, who was on the score sheet last night? Colin Moani, and who was
Dominic Solanke.
Yeah,
he was only on the pitch.
Dom's shown his form
well,
again,
he's only had 3 games back, and he's already got 2 goals, I think, in 3 games since his return. So, we know he was a huge link. A huge miss. I read the word link there from the script. We know he was a huge miss for them, and I think he'll do a real good job there when he's fighting fit. I like Solanke. I really like Solanke.
That Real Madrid job is such a difficult job, isn't it?
It is.
Like it's a prestigious job, but it's
got so many pitfalls with it, know. And at the minute, I got to be honest, like the Kylian Mbappe thing is following managers around. This is a real difficult gig if you've got this kid to deal with. Now, in his defense, he's scoring goals like they are going out of fashion. but there is a huge lack of balance in that Madrid team. When I'm looking at teams, something that's really, really important to me is balance. I spoke about it in the summer when we spoke about Liverpool. I said, we need to be careful here, taking people out of this team because it's very, very well balanced. You take people out, you put guys in, it can unbalance the side. We know that's kind of what's happened. I think there's so many teams. If you look at Madrid right now and City, the balance isn't there. The balance isn't there at all. And I think that's a worry for Madrid. Like, what's happened with Madrid is they did their Galactico thing and they bought all these top-of-the-line players. But we also know you need a guy who's going to be 7 out of 10 every week, 8 out of 10 every week. We need that water carrier. And they don't really have too many of them. Like, Vinny ain't a water carrier. Jude Bellingham ain't a water carrier. Kylian Mbappe ain't a water carrier. The boy Arda Güler ain't a water carrier. Franco Mastuano ain't a water carrier.
It's the Kroos and the Modric, isn't it? The lads who knit it all together.
And just make it, and at the minute, it's not there. It's just not there. And I think the balance is really, really poor at Madrid. When we look at Madrid over the last few years, and they were pouring, right? It was when they had Vinny and Rodrigo on the wings, tugging from both sides, yeah, and something then through the middle, and they backed it up from behind. They don't have that right now. The boy Mbappe in his defence has been their best player by a country mile. There's some other good additions all over the park. You know, I think the boy Huijsen's doing real well for them. It's a huge step up, but I think he's going to be the long-term, you know, Mr. Real Madrid.
How do you balance the brilliance and the need of an Mbappe with the hassle and the management of trying to control the head?
Well, the thing at the minute is, I don't believe if you take him out to get any better, because he is their best player. But it's not necessarily.
Are you getting this feeling now of what happened at PSG, that he's gone in there now and the fucking political game, the power thing is
not necessarily. Not necessarily. I think the issue, you know, with Alonso was he is an authoritarian, and there was too many guys. Mbappe might have been one of them, but there was way too many guys in that squad that didn't work for, you know. And I think if you look at somebody like an Ancelotti, I think he's a really good manager. I've no doubt Xavi Alonso is technically and tactically a very, very good manager. I don't know if he knew how to deal with those big personalities, you know. Whereas, don't forget,
you've also got Ancelotti there with the reputation and the career as the elder statesman as well. So there's a level of respect there.
Yeah, but look, there is. But don't forget, like, Alonso played at a serious level, so there would be respect. The one thing I would say is, if you look at it, Ancelotti had bigger players in the past than Kylian Mbappe. Xavi Alonso didn't. Therefore, knowing how to deal with this massive elephant in the room becomes really difficult, you know. I've no doubt he would have learned quite a lot at Madrid that, you know, he'll probably bring into his next job. But I still don't know if at this stage that authoritarian figure that kind of works with certain groups. Would you have a
smidge of concern there if he goes into Liverpool? Like
Aston Villa, 87th minute 3-2.
Wow, there's a comeback.
Just waiting to see. Oh, and it's a debut goal. Now, I'm gonna butcher this kid's name. Butcher it. He is called Jamaldine Jimu. And he is...
Nothing wrong with that.
He doesn't have...
a profile picture.
He doesn't. He does have a picture. He doesn't have any data. So he doesn't even have a profile. And the assist was a kid called Caden Young, who also, view profile. Oh, Caden Young is 20. He's one of the Aston Villa under 21s. But the boy Jamal is, oh, here we go. He's 19. and he's also part of the Aston Villa under-21s. So these are two kids that came off the bench in the 66th and the 79th minute. Wow. Unbelievable.
Absolutely, Jesus. Absolutely. Just to let you know, still 4-2 with Celtic, just a minute of they're in the 89th minute here. Leon have gone 3-2 up against Pack as well. So
Do you want the good news or the bad news?
Give me the good news first. I'm a half full guy.
The good news is Stuttgart have just gone 3-2 up.
Okay.
So Stuttgart 3-2, Betis 2-1, Celtic 4-2, all result in goal to score. Fenerbahce are 1-1. So need a Fenerbahce goal.
There's probably a few minutes. What are we talking? 3-4 minutes left with
3-4 minutes plus added time.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get there. What's the cash out? Have they offered you a cash out?
Nothing. They're not offering a cash out right now.
Oh, sure. It's too late. It's probably too late, is it? At this stage?
It might be. Oh, hang on. What happened there? No, that's just a Stuttgart goal scorer.
Okay. Right. What do I want to do? There's no point in really going through this pathway yet at the moment until everything is kind of.
I wouldn't have thought so. Not until we have a better look at the.
Getting a bit far ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, a little bit.
Right. Let's talk about Premier League, and we'll go down through them reasonably quickly, bar the ones that kind of stick out. We're kicking off with Brighton versus Everton.
We're kicking off with Brighton versus Everton. Let's have a look here now. Excuse me. Right, so fixtures. Brighton versus Everton. Yeah, so Everton have been very, very good on the road of late. Really, really good. And Brighton are generally a team that are really, really good at home. So you got Brighton's home form versus Everton's away form. I don't think there'll be much in this. I think Everton having some of their boys back from the AFCON, the boy Idrissa Gana Gay and Iliman and Doy and stuff like that, really great for them to have them back. They were good on Monday night. I think they'll be even better this weekend because they're a little more time to bed back in and stuff like that.
Synergy, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I really find it hard to back against Brighton at home, though. So I'm just going to go Brighton 3-2. Sorry, 2-1. 2-1. Yeah, there won't be that many goals, I wouldn't have thought.
Leeds versus Arsenal. Leeds doing very well at the moment. Playing well.
Leeds doing really well. If you look at the table there, you know, for Leeds to be in that kind of position right now, I think it shows what a job Daniel Farke has done.
The only reason they're not more safe and out of sight is because West Ham's form has come up. Otherwise,
little bit.
You know what I mean?
Little bit.
Although they've played so well and picked up points, the gap hasn't really increased.
Well, I mean,
West Ham have been picking up their points.
If you'd have said after 23 games that Leeds were going to be 2 points behind Spurs, do you think Leeds fans would have taken it?
Oh, 100%.
100%.
Especially when you go back, say, 5, 6, 7 weeks ago when they were hovering around the bottom three.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, no, I think that's phenomenal from... I think that's absolutely phenomenal from Leeds. I think Daniel Farke's done very well. And I think there's been some real good performers at Leeds. You know, none more so than Dominic Calvert-Lewin. But he certainly hasn't been the only guy to do it. I think the boy Brendan Aronson has been excellent, brings tremendous energy and work rate and endeavour, and he's nicking that ball really high up the pitch and he's getting on the front foot right away, and it's helping Leeds no end.
Yeah, DCL he was unlucky the other night against his old team as well. He had a great chance.
And you know who I watched Leeds on Monday night, and I'm gonna give you the name of someone who really, really impressed me.
Yeah.
Because I actually went and had a little bit of it. You know, when you look at someone, you see them and you go, oh, that was very nice. And I looked at this kid, right? And I said to myself, Jesus, this lad isn't anywhere near where he could be. He's a boy called Sebastian Bornau. He plays as a centre-back. He's Belgian. He's 26. and he is a really, really, really tidy footballer. He's been with Leeds all season, but he hasn't played that much football till what you would describe as the second half of the season. He obviously didn't play for the first couple of weeks, and then he picked up an injury and he missed 3 or 4 weeks, and then he came back in. But since the turn of the year, he's really seen an upturn in his performances and how much he's played. Really nice player, this kid.
Mm. You've also the boy Nemecha as well has stepped up greatly as well, and the boy Ampadu as well have really come alive for him as well, haven't they?
Yeah, Nemecha's done okay. He hasn't been amazing, but Ampadu is an ever-present. Ampadu's a good footballer, you know. He's part of that Welsh team that'll be going to the World Cup. He's a real tidy player. He's an ex-Chelsea player and stuff like that. Ethan Ampadu, really good.
He also likes to get stuck in as well, which I like.
I think the Leeds fans would love him.
Yeah, because he's not necessarily a big guy, if you like, but he certainly puts himself about.
Yeah, I think he's bigger than you realise, actually.
No, I don't mean height. I mean as in build.
Yeah, he's a bit kind of a dude now, but he's a real nice footballer. Doesn't try and do too much with the ball. Just pops it about. He's really, really clever and stuff like that. I have to say, I think he's a real good player. And he's the ideal kind of player for a Leeds. A guy, like we said, is going to give you 7 out of 10 every week, going to roll the sleeves up, going to get in and work his socks off, you know, and very, very good.
Exactly what Fark needs. Exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
What are you going on this?
I'm going to go Arsenal. I just think... I know we've big leads up there.
Just talked Leeds for the last 5 minutes. But by the way, Arsenal 4-0.
Yeah, I just think Mikel Arteta will have them right there. I think he'll have them right there. The one thing I expect more than anything this weekend from Arsenal is a clean sheet. I don't think Leeds will score. I think that's how they'll win the game. Now, I think they'll win it a little more comfortably than 1-0. I think they'll win it 2-0. But I expect Arsenal to go back to basics, to keep a clean sheet, to knock the ball around, and to nick a goal or two from set pieces or on the counter or whatever, and they'll get over the line.
Yeah, certainly be interesting. That's for sure. Wolves versus Bournemouth.
Wolves versus Bournemouth.
Just to let you know, actually, they're all full times, by the way. Villa have won 3-2. Celtic have won 4-2. Leon ended up winning 4-2 against Pack. And Forest won 4-0 against big shout out to Rob Edwards, obviously, you know, had a tough baptism of fire there at Wolves. And obviously went a number of games without scoring, without picking up any kind of result. And he's got them moving, in fairness to him. You know, he has got them moving. They've had such a weird season.
Well, I mean, they literally were relegated in, you know, October, November.
But if you look at some of those results where they were kind of on the verge of a point or on the verge of a win, and
they've been on the cusp of something, and 100%. But really, really good performances. They're keeping it tighter at the back and stuff like that. Fenerbahce finished 1-1. Anyways, moving on.
65 quid doesn't seem too bad now. This is what I always say.
Listen. I think at this stage they're obviously getting ready for life in the Championship. It does look like the boy Jurgen Strand Larsen has 1 foot out the door. Now, I know I read something earlier on which says the deal seems to be hanging by a thread at the moment for whatever reason. Palace had 45 plus 5 on the table. And Wolves were happy, but there was somebody else sniffing around. And I believe that somebody else was Leeds. Leeds had a £40 million bid turned down from earlier in the window. And Leeds apparently had come back in, knowing that the terms were getting to 45 plus 5. I like this kid, Strand Larsen. I think he's good. I know 50 million has been bandied about, and people are like, 50 million, it's a lot of money. If you watch this kid last season, this kid can play and can score goals in this league. Right, there we are. Look, there he is. Trouble's in the building.
Love you, Kyle. How are you, pal?
Good to see you, pal. I think this kid, Strand Larsen, could do a real good job somewhere. And I think later on down the line, we might look at 50 million and go, do you know what? Wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad.
Mm.
You know? But Wolves selling them to get ready for life in the Championship, I would imagine. Who they're going to bring in to replace him, I'm not sure, but they would certainly need to do a little bit of replacing there before the window closes, unless they're going to take the hit and just go in with what they have and then push that money back into the
load
squad
up
in
the
the
money
summer.
back for the summer, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I think
like
that there's no probably real point in investing in it now, is there?
Well, here's the thing, right? Well, you give your youth a little bit of a chance. You give some of the lads that are there a little bit of a chance, and then it gives you 3 £15 million players in the summer.
But you may also uncover a little golden nugget for the championship.
Of course, 100%.
That might save you a few quid as well.
100%. But you can't sniff it. 3 £15 million players into that Wolves squad next year. That puts them straight back at the top of the tree for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. What are you going for here? Feels like a draw, doesn't it? Bournemouth, maybe, edge it.
I think Bournemouth will nick it, but I think 2-1 real close. 2-1 real close.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think Chelsea will find life that easy against West Ham.
They're on a roll at the moment, West Ham, aren't they?
For a couple of reasons. Obviously, West Ham have turned a little bit of a corner. But also, when we talk about it, Chelsea were in Italy last night. So let's say they decided to get out of Dodge last night, which I don't know if they did. By the time they got home, right, it's probably a 3-hour trip to.
That's the
Chelsea.
That's the 5:30 game as well, because we're actually on at 8:00 this week.
So there's a bit. It's given a bit of time, but they still have to get back. The likelihood is today was a recovery day. They're in tomorrow. Excuse me.
Tactics, won't they?
And then they do set pieces and shape maybe, and then they'll then I don't know whether they might do something light on Saturday morning because they're the later game. They might, because they don't have too far to travel. Don't forget, they're home, so they might do a little bit of something. Park the cars to the training ground, take the coach from there. But like, it always weighs heavy, those away games in Europe. Always weighs heavy. We've seen it before, and West Ham will be champing at the bit because Nuno will have told them these boys have been in fucking Italy. They've had a tough flight back. They've had a tough game. We're going to come out of the box 100 mile an hour.
Around the 60, they could get a bit leggy.
And, and that's, absolutely.
That's when the likes of a Jared Bowen or
and I think it'll be tough for them to, I think it'll be tough for Chelsea to put them away as they'd like to, One thing I'm going to say about Chelsea, because I know we do mention Chelsea quite a bit. Chelsea absolutely have to get the goalkeeper thing sorted in the summer. Like, the boy Robert Sanchez is a real good goalkeeper. I'm not going to pour cold water on the lad. He's a real good goalkeeper. We've seen him make some phenomenal saves. He doesn't have the level of focus and concentration for a top team. And Chelsea want to be a top team. And they're not going to challenge for a title with Robert Sanchez. There's too much going on. There's too many mistakes. There's too many gaffes. He's not good under crosses, and he's not great at times with his feet. And he's getting himself into trouble. He did it a couple of times last night as well. And I'm like, if that's happening to you in Naples, where don't forget, they're not amazing pressers, you're going to be in trouble when you get back to that Premier League. So I think Chelsea need to get that sorted in the summer and buy somebody and just go and buy. As we talked about before, when you need 2 or 3 spots in your team, right? You go and buy big. I don't want you to cover a plethora of things.
We need the needle. We need the needle movers.
I want you to go and get, right? I want you to go and get the best goalkeeper you can get. Spend 50, 60 million on him. I want you to go and get a centre back to call your centre back, right? And I want you to go and get an out and out 9, right? That's going to get you 30 a season, and all of a sudden, you're on a different level.
But the likelihood is that ain't going to happen, is it?
Well, I think it's unlikely due to the fact the project doesn't seem to work that way. Do you know, it seems to be much more buy young, buy multiple, buy, do you know what I mean? Turnover, rollover. Like, if you're Chelsea, I'm gonna sprinkle something crazy in here. Stick with me for a second. If I'm Chelsea, I pick up the phone and I call. He would, Keith. I think he'd be very good. Now, he's just signed a new deal at AC Milan, so it's going to cost you a wedge. Chelsea could have got him out there much cheaper this year, and they didn't.
20,
and now he's signed the deal.
He was
it's going to cost you more money. Here's what I do, right? Here's what I do. I'm different than everybody else. I pick up the phone and I call Barcelona. And I say, how are you, lads? Chelsea here. The boy Lewandowski is coming close to the end of things, which is, yeah. What's left in the contract? How much are we looking for?
Is he available on a free in the summer, isn't he? Because he's out of contract, isn't he?
He might be. It'll depend on the discussion.
Because they said they've already told him they're not renewing. I read a report on it 2 weeks ago.
If I'm Chelsea, I get Robert Lewandowski. I don't care what age he is. He's a goal scorer.
And experience.
And how amazing would it be for João Pedro and for Liam Delap? Because I still think, by the way, and I've said this previously, and I'm sticking to it. Liam Delap is Harry Kane's successor in that England team, right? Now, I don't know whether he gets the spot while he's playing at Chelsea, or I don't know whether he ends up going somewhere else to get game time because he's finding it hard to get it going at Chelsea. But I believe he will be England's next number 9, right? And because of that, I think if you had a Lewandowski showing the likes of João Pedro and a Delap, the way to do it, we know he's going to score goals in big games because he only needs a sniff. He is a born goal scorer. I get him in. If you're telling me he's free, it's going to be cheaper. So then I don't mind bringing him in and paying a few quid, right, on the wages. He's a shorter deal. Give him a 2-year deal with the option of a third if things go very well. Get him in the door. Get him a little bit of experience because as good as Chelsea are, they're a little short on experience in places. You get yourself a real good centre back.
And remember as well with Clear Lake's links as well. You have the Saudi option out as well to recoup a lot of what you invest. Plus, not only are you getting what he'll bring to the team, you're getting what he's going to do to your 2 forwards as well. It's 100%. Going to change them drastically in a massive
100%.
We think very alike when it comes to experience and youth, don't we? That you have to sprinkle both together.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And I think you go and get yourself a goalkeeper and you go and get yourself a real good centre back. I don't think so, Keith. And the only reason I don't think so is I think if you present him with the chances that Chelsea create at times, I think he scores goals.
Keith, he's not weak either. He's a strong boy.
He's good in the air. Yeah. He's physical. I get what you're saying. But I don't think it would be as applicable for Lewandowski because I think you give him opportunities. I don't think he's getting any worse with his feet. Put it that way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we need to see that kind of Thiago Silva effect, don't we, in there again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't that what we're looking for, isn't it, really?
Yeah. To the point where I almost go to PSG and say, see the lad Marquinhos, I'll take him as well. What's he going to cost? Is he nearly up on his deal? What's he got left? Just
remember as well on our prediction, this year was moving year and next year was trophy year. This is what we spoke about in this Chelsea project. You know, so this can't just keep on going on and on and on and everyone's flashing the dollars, but no one's putting that in the trophy cabinet. You got to and the difficulty in understanding the balance of that is somewhat they go hand in hand, but I don't think they've made that connection yet.
So just a little update from the Europa, yeah. Celtic finished in 21st place, so we'll get a spot, yeah, in the playoffs. Nottingham Forest finished in 13th place.
It's not good for the Scottish coefficient, is it?
We'll also get a place in the playoffs, and Aston Villa finished in 2nd, so they qualify automatically. The only British team not to qualify were Rangers, who finished with a meager 4 points. Kind of serves you right, doesn't it? Anyway, Moving on.
Absolutely. Did you give me a Chelsea West Ham?
2-2.
2-2.
2-2.
And then we rounded out the evening kickoff, Liverpool versus Newcastle.
Liverpool versus Newcastle. Is our home? Okay. I think obviously the game being home gives you a better opportunity. I think Newcastle playing in Champions League away doesn't help their case. But I just think at the moment there's no such thing as an easy game for Liverpool in the league.
After losing Frimpong now as well.
Yeah, I just don't think, obviously right back now, you're pretty much down to the bare bones. Are we going to see the boy from Aberdeen, Ramsey? Is that where we're going?
No, the worrying thing is he's probably going to go with what he did. He'll probably put Gravenberch in centre with Van Dijk, and he'll put Endo over there. It's really a lot it's a lot of moving parts. Like last night was the same. A lot of moving parts. And at one stage, Gravenberch was playing central defence with Van Dijk, and at times he was leading the press, which is even more concerning. When you lose your mind, and Van Dijk is standing there, and that whole other side of the pitch is empty. Because you have Endo slipping in, nearly like inverting into the 6. You've got Gravenberch, who was nearly leading the line of the press.
Right now, oh God, is there a possibility? No, there's not really. Wow. Is
this a real tough game for us this week? This is
and you know what? The one thing I will say is there's a couple of places Newcastle can hurt any team. And one of those places is down the sides with Anthony Gordon, Harvey Barnes, Anthony Alanga. They can hurt you in behind. Wow. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. Do you go score draw? We going 1-1. Newcastle aren't serial goal scorers.
I'm saying nothing because I'll upset people. So I'm not saying nothing.
I'm going to go 1-1.
I take that right now.
Would you? Would you? Oh, wow.
Absolutely. Eddie Howe is going to have these boys fired up. He's going to be talking about the hostage Isaac. He's going to be talking about a lot of stuff. He's going to have these boys fired up. And we're going to be sitting there looking around, and there's a lot of little combinations on that pitch. Okay, last night was great and it was 6-0, but a slot made the point himself afterwards. He says, this is not going to paper over our poor domestic form. And he made the point about it.
And I think he's right, isn't he, to go with things that way, I do. I think he's right. Right, 1-1, wow.
I'm definitely worried. Definitely worried about this one. And it's the last game I want to drop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, the problem is, are you close? They could go above you with a win. If they beat you, they go above you. Yeah, that's disgusting.
And the thing about it is, would I be surprised?
Oh, well, listen, here we go. Right, go on. Roll up, next one.
Let's move on. Sunday, Aston Villa, Brentford.
Yeah, I think Villa are going to be buoyed here by a great result tonight. And by Tammy Abraham, Leon Bailey, and Douglas Luiz all being available for the squad for Sunday. And at home, it's so difficult to back against them. Brentford, Keith Andrews, playing superb, doing well, but I can't back against Villa at home. I really can't. I would look, how close are Villa, man? This is just, I did think about it today. I was listening to something earlier on. We won't tell anyone what I was listening to. And there was a little conversation about who'd you like to win the league? And somebody said, Aston Villa. Definitely Aston Villa. And I kind of stopped and I went, could Aston Villa win the league? And then I thought, they fucking can,
We spoke about it last week. I only spoke about it the other day with our friend in Duns.
Aston
He's not
Villa,
convinced at all.
wow, Aston Villa can win a league title this season. They can. Aston Villa can be the new Leicester.
That's exactly what I said to him. I said, if Leicester can do it, why can't you? And look at your
100%.
squad. And look at the manager and all you have.
Do you love the fact that they've, I know they've had a few injuries and stuff like that, and they've had to do a couple of things with signings. But, Malin and Gassan, the boy has gone to Palace, have left the building.
Yeah.
They've brought in Abraham and Bailey, to shake it up a little bit, and then brought the extra body in the midfield. And you're just thinking, that's it. Just keep giving him what he needs to just keep checking games off on the list.
See, do you know what it is?
Do you know what I really don't want to happen, Aston Villa? I don't want Aston Villa to run into too many games and just,
finish sixth.
No, they're not going to finish sixth.
No,
but, just because,
that drop off.
Yeah, I just don't want. Now, listen, the big thing for them is they've got that automatic qualification now, which is great because that saves you 2 games. That's super.
Massive.
That's really, really good.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting, but look, it wouldn't be shocking at all. Keith, I'm beginning. I do like Verts and I like what I'm saying and stuff like that, but I think with KDB and with David Silva, there was so much technical ability there, laced with so much skill and everything else. But these guys didn't cough up the ball as easy either. They were very, very strong in possession as well.
Keith, you're missing something from that sentence. Question for you guys. Could Verts be the next guy to be another KDB, David Silva, or Bruno Fernandes? You're missing something there, Keith. So, just so we all keep this above board, if you're having a chat about David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne, you can sprinkle Bruno Fernandes in there because that's where he is level-wise. So, do I think Verts can reach Bruno Fernandes level? No. And I'm a Verts fan, but I don't think he'll touch the grass of what Fernandes has done, or is doing, or will do.
Certainly not in the current structure where stability isn't great anyway, that's for sure.
No. Yeah. And don't forget, the big issue for Verts is they are not playing a formation that gets the best out of Verts.
That's why he's covering every blade of the grass. He's all over
what Verts is getting out of himself right now, I would say he's doing really well to get that out on the basis that they're not playing to his strengths. For my money.
Right. United Fulham.
Hang on.
Is this the moment where you decide we've turned the corner?
Drink it in, man.
If this goes to...
Do you know what would really excite me? You're going to think this is such a weird thing for me to say, but I am going to say it. I would love to be the 4th team to break the 40-point barrier. Chelsea can get the 40, they can't break it. We can break the 40-point barrier with a win on Sunday. And we could be the 4th team in the league to do that this season, behind Arsenal, City and Villa. That would excite me greatly. Because... That's
the PTSD of feeling safe, yeah?
Well, it's not even that. But what it would do is, for us to be that high up on the list, that would be phenomenal for me right now. We didn't expect 6 points in the last 2 games. We had this conversation. I said 10 from the 5 games, and we said that'd be a decent return. There's 6 in our pocket. We've 3 games to go. What can we get? Is your man getting his haircut at the end of these 5? He might be. I think Fulham, will be.
Well, in terms of the fixtures you had, you won't be as being in a better position. I know in one of them you only had a game to go or 2 games to go or something.
Yeah, like and he did have some really. He did have some easy, some tidy games previously to win. People are talking the Fulham game up massively, and I'm a bit bemused by this. And I mean this in the nicest possible and the most respectful way to Fulham. If we've gone out and we've beaten City 2-0 and we've gone to the current league league leaders and beating them 3-2 on their own patch. Why is anyone sweating over Fulham at Old Trafford? And I know what you're going to tell me. Well, previous history would say you have been able to show up in these big games and you've had a drop off against the lower kind of level teams like a Fulham. So I do get that. However, the one thing I will say is we've looked like we're playing different football. It's quicker, it's faster, it's 1 and 2 touches. It's guys playing to their strengths, they're popping the ball around. I think this is an ideal game for us after City, after Arsenal. You come back home, you're playing Fulham. We know Fulham are decent. Fulham will make it difficult for us. They'll have runners coming into the box. They'll pick up scraps on the edge of the box. They'll test the keeper. They'll sit deep. We'll do all of that. We're at Old Trafford. We're Man United. Fulham shouldn't scare us. If we are going to go and claim a Champions League spot this season, we need to put teams like Fulham to the sword.
Well, maybe this is why fans are talking it up.
Maybe. I expect us to beat Fulham on Sunday. I don't expect it to be comfortable, but I expect us to beat them.
Shame you lost Dargu as well. Dargu has been,
do you know what?
Phenomenal.
Real shame we've lost them. And for nobody more so than the kid. Because you come to Man United, there's a lot of him and Han. He's been a year there now, because obviously he came in last January. Took a little bit of time to settle in, played in a few different positions. Since he's been moved higher up the pitch, he looks like a different character. He's completely different. Look at the goals he's able to score. You look at the goal against Newcastle, it's a screamer, and you think that's the best goal this kid's going to score. And then you see what he did at the Emirates last week, and you go, hold on a minute here. This kid got a much higher ceiling than I thought he had as a left wing back.
He's a young player playing with a level of freedom now that he should have always been playing with.
Absolutely.
That's the
absolutely.
That's the issue.
But listen, it also gives us the opportunity to get Cunha back in on that left-hand side, you know, to get Mbeumo in on the right-hand side, or Ahmad, maybe playing Mbeumo at 10, push Sesko up, or maybe I expect him to start Sesko. Because I think the boys of Fulham, if you look at it, you got Calvin Bassey, you've got the boy Anderson, and you've got the boy Cuenca. Now, it'll be 2 from those 3 that start. Bassey didn't start last weekend. Cuenca did, because he's been very good while Bassey was at the AFCON. Now, I imagine for this weekend, he goes, right, Calvin, you're back. So I expect it to be Anderson and Bassey. Now, no better player to go up against them than a guy like Sesko, who can take them out of the back line. Because don't forget, if Sesko drops short, someone has to go with him, right? Therefore, you drag one of them 2 big central defenders out of the back line, and you create space in behind them for the runners from the left and from the right. And that is what I think will happen. I think we'll see, I'm calling it now, I think we see Anderson and Bassey start, and I think he starts Sesko in this game, because I think this is the kind of game for Sesko.
Okay, interesting. What are you predicting?
3-1 United.
3-1. Right, let's go down through the others pretty quick. Forest versus Palace.
Yeah, Forest, great result tonight.
Palace all over the place at the moment, aren't they?
Well, Forest, great result tonight. But Thursday night isn't easy. Palace have been scratching their town halls all week. We know what happens. Palace possibly getting some bodies in the door as well, and couple back. And listen, it'll be tight. I wouldn't be surprised to see a sticky 1-1.
Cool. Spurs, Man City.
Spurs have such a good record against Man City in recent years, to the point where I'm not sure we can ignore it. I
think last season was City's first win at the new stadium, wasn't it?
Yeah,
something like that, I think,
now, listen, I think Spurs will be buoyed by qualification, and that's what Frank will be talking to them about. However, I think this has City written all over it for me.
City are going to have to answer the Arsenal result, aren't they?
I think so.
That's what they're going to have to do.
I think so. And I just, rightly or wrongly, I just don't see them falling over the thing every week. And that's what's happened so far. I think eventually, they're going to step over the line and we'll be like, okay, they're back. This is, So, yeah, I'm going to go City. 3-2 in a thriller, and the boy Semenyo getting the winner, because I think he's been awesome since he went to City.
Interesting. Looking forward to seeing Gay as well.
He was really good last weekend.
Mm,
He was. I know it's Wolves, but straight away into the team. What happens? Clean sheet. Game over. Good night.
Sick. Sick of it.
Clean sheet.
I love it. I love watching it, but I'm sick about it. But I love watching it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Listen.
And then Monday, Sunderland, Burnley.
Yeah. Listen. This is nailed on. Sunderland 2-1. Burnley plucky in the game. Scored a goal. Sunderland get 2. 2-1 Sunderland, and it's written all over.
Perfect. Right. Nothing left to do but to run the VT. Run the VT, Colette. So I'm going to run this video. This is the one for the big match coming up on May the 16th.
Kelly's Heroes.
That's it. Versus a Premier League legends. And you'll be happy you're going to hear from 2 men who I know you're fans of. That's for sure at the end of this video. Don't forget, folks, the QR code there is up in the corner. If you click on that or you scan it, that will bring you straight to Eventbrite for the tickets.
Absolutely.
Hello. Once upon a time, I used to be Brian McClare, ex-Manchester United and Celtic football player. And he would like to tell you that the Premier League legends are coming to Stradbroke, Blackrock on Saturday the 16th of May. You can get your tickets from Eventbrite, and all the proceeds are going to Blackrock Hospice in memory of Stephen Kelly. Keep rocking in the free world.
Hi, Wes Brown here, former Manchester United player. Looking forward to meeting you guys on the 16th of May at Stradbroke, Blackrock. Myself and the lads will be looking forward to playing against Kelly's Heroes. Tickets are available on Eventbrite, and keep rocking the free world. See you all then.
Great stuff, great stuff. And you'll be interested in this. I'm putting together a video package as well that shows like clips from the lads playing. Don't forget, folks, Yakubu confirmed today as well. The Yak will be in
the Yak for sure. Is back, baby.
But I was downloading little video clips of goals from each of the lads on there. You know what Wes Brown one I had to put on?
Liverpool.
Yeah, against Pepe Reina.
Yes.
I messaged Tony and I said, Tony, you put me through tough times here, pal.
You're breaking me heart here, Tony.
You're absolutely breaking me heart. There we go. But listen, that's it, folks. Anyway, I don't think we've anything else to add, have we?
No, I don't think so.
Perfect. So we will be back next week. Don't forget, join me tomorrow night, 5 o'clock. We have the SmackDown watch along starting at 5 tomorrow for some reason. Crazy. But
it's 5 tomorrow, is it?
5 tomorrow. Yeah, I thought it was 7, but it's actually 5.
Well, it's 7 on Saturday, right?
Saturday, yeah. 7 on Saturday. We'll have to watch along for that as well for the Royal Rumble.
I don't know this. But there is something telling me. Is Friday a holy day over there? Is that maybe why?
I think that's they're going through it at the moment, aren't they? It's not just Friday. I think they're going through it. Aren't they going through a period or something? Yeah, maybe.
I'm not sure. I think Friday is it. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Gives me an excuse to leave early. I'm happy.
To leave work early, is it?
Yeah, so I have to get back for the 5 o'clock for the watch along.
So what time are you leaving at 3 o'clock?
No, I'd leave about 3:30. I should be all right. Because I'll have everything prepared and up on it and everything and also.
Yeah, but you'll need to eat before you kick off as well, don't forget.
Oh, no, it's a watch along, so we eat your journey.
Oh, well then, listen, it's up to yourself.
Yeah, have everything here. That's all good, all prepared.
We possibly have a football match tomorrow night. Possibly, I say possibly because Have you seen the weather forecast?
Well, that might be after SmackDown if it's 5.
Meeting at 7:15,
That's not too bad.
which
you'll
means
get the
I'll have
goods
to
of nearly
leave at
2 hours.
quarter
Will you?
to 7. I'll have to leave at 7:15 on a Friday.
Nearly 2 hours. With
Just over half time.
Not bad.
But listen, maybe we don't get there because there's a serious amount of wind around and rain. So maybe somebody decides this isn't a great idea, even on on Astro.
Give me your picks for the 2 Rumbles. You're not getting off lightly.
Give you my picks for the Rumbles. The men's one will be won by...
Acknowledge me. The hands going up. We seen it on the back of the truck.
By Roman Reigns. Although I did like Brock Lesnar throwing himself in for that one.
Seth Rollins had a go off him.
I've seen it. And I think...
Still hasn't forgiven him for 35.
The winner of the women's will be Liv Morgan.
I'm not upset at that. Although I'd like to see Bianca back.
Yeah, I think we might have to wait a little bit longer for that. We might. Although, would you like my real hot take?
Go on.
I'm going to make a very bold prediction. Keith. You got it, Keith.
Keith knows.
Keith is on it. Keith knows. I'm going to give you a very, very bold prediction. At some point in the Royal Rumble on Saturday, we will end up with 2 men in the ring at the same time. One will be the returning Chris Jericho. And the second one is a rated R superstar.
He's been all over Instagram talking about the Rumble, hasn't he? I noticed it the last few days. He has not shut up about the Royal Rumble.
I think...
Is this the kickback from Tommaso Ciampa?
I don't know. But I do think we're going to get Edge and Jericho both in the ring at the same time. Now, I don't know whether it ends up like, it's early enough on.
I said it in our WhatsApp group yesterday that I think this Tommaso Ciampa, when I seen him going in so quick in the AEW, I wonder, has a little deal being struck? I don't know
if it's a you scratch yours, I scratch. I don't know if it's something like that, but I do think these 2 are going to end up. Now, I don't know whether we get to a point where, they put someone like a Lesnar in, right? And Lesnar turfs a load of boys out, yeah? And there's 2 people left, and Lesnar goes to clothesline Jericho, and Jericho ducks and shoulders him over the top, right? And Jericho's standing in the ring on his own, and then the music hits, and then you look to the ramp, and you see the beard, and I'm waiting for it.
So the comeback 6 years ago was amazing, wasn't it?
I am waiting for it. Still probably in my top... I'm going to say it's in the top 3 moments of my wrestling fan career.
Santino coming out for the women's one. I've witnessed that in the Battle Royal at 25.
Do you know that? I have Edge's return in my top 3 wrestling moments of my lifetime.
Not just
top
Rumble
3
moments.
No. All moments.
His return at the Rumble is in your top 3 wrestling moments for your whole fandom.
Yes.
That's a stretch.
It's not for me.
We're going to have a conversation in the morning on the car.
No. Honestly, that's where I would put it. Because don't forget, there wasn't even a whisper of that. Right? And you remember watching the video when he comes in under the cloak and he's locked in the room and Beth is coming in, bringing him the fit, right? We didn't know about that. There was no hint. There was no, and
there was no
then
property.
It was done properly. And at that stage, we had all, in our hearts, said goodbye. And this was a bridge we weren't going to cross again. And then you're watching that rumble and the music hits. And I went, I've heard that music before. Why is that music on? Why is that music on? And then the screen, and you go, that was top three in my wrestling fandom.
Definitely going to have a conversation in the morning.
But don't forget, I forgot his name when he went to AEW, just so we all know, yeah? Like,
It wasn't easy coping with him leaving.
Certainly wasn't like that. I enjoyed that, Niall. Well done.
Anyway, folks, we'll leave you with that hot take from Darren. Jericho
Yeah.
and Edge potentially in the ring together at the Royal Rumble, and Edge's return at the Rumble being one of Darren's top 3 moments in his wrestling fandom.
Yeah.
Until next time, folks, subscribe to the channel.